thought I'd do a little testimony here. Everybody kind of does a testimony once they find the Lord or Jesus Christ and everything. So, just kind of go through my story. I grew up in Edmond, Oklahoma. Played sports. I mean, sports was my life for sure. Moved to Enid in second grade. By that time, I think I had like 15 trophies from traveling teams. Great at sports. I mean, I was gifted, definitely athlete. Moved to Enid. Stayed in sports through elementary school. Um, doing great. By that time, I think I hit junior high. I had 30 or more trophies. I mean, we were getting first place, second place every year. Starting point guard. Baseball I was okay at, but basketball was really my sport. Um, 8th grade of junior high, I didn't make the basketball team. Me and one of the other guys I played with were some of the best players at the YMCA at that time. And a lot of the other guys that went to school there were friends with the coaches, and I think that really influenced them to put them on the team. I was on the B team and moved up to starting point guard the first game, actually. And probably could have made it to the A team. Just the people that I was playing with kind of bullied me and I would say pushed me away from that atmosphere of sports. So after that, I quit playing sports, and I mean, I didn't really have anywhere to go. And when I was in 5th grade, they did a little dare drug thing, and I told myself I would never do drugs. Told myself, that's not me. I'm never going to do this, blah, blah, blah. Um, Junior high is when I started drinking. Junior high is when I started smoking weed, and everybody says, oh, weed's not a gateway drug. Well, that's what I told myself too. Started smoking bud. After that, started doing meth, coke, crack. I did ecstasy once. Just going downhill pretty much in high school. I was getting my dreams mixed up with reality and didn't even know what classes I was supposed to go to every day. Just getting way too drugged up every night. If anyone, that partied with me that saw my room kind of knew there was a problem there. I think we all kind of had our problems. One of my best friends, I'm not going to mention his name, got bested for making meth the day before. We went on a long road trip with meth, and that night, he laid out a line and was like, do you want to do this line? And I said, no, you can do it. I'm going home, I'm going to sleep. I mean, it was like 7, 8 in the morning. He's cleaning his room like crazy. That next morning I wake up and felt like I was ODing. My heart has never been like that before. And I was driving to the hospital. While I'm driving to the hospital, there's fire trucks at his house. Well, he stayed up that whole night and ended up trying to make a batch of meth and got busted. Luckily, got busted or the house would have blown up because he's by a hot water heater. Luckily, he's still alive. I really think if I would have done that line, I wouldn't be here today. But after that, high school, rumors started going around about me being gay and all this crap. Was bullied, walking down the halls, by people that didn't even know me, just heard things and thought, oh, we're going to give this kid a hard time. He's a pretty boy. So I dropped out of high school for that main reason, and went to alternative for a while. But at that time, my drug use was so intense that I just wanted to make money and sell drugs. And then it got to the point where I was ripping people off because I was so addicted. And then it got to the point where the cop down the street was watching my house. I had one of my friend's dads ask me if I was selling drugs because he knew the police there, and I told him no. I was coming back from the city with some weed, got pulled over, got arrested, which honestly was probably the best thing for me. They searched my house and charged me with anything in my house. Got kicked out of my house in Enid. Another reason I moved to the city. My dad got me down here. Uh, since then, I mean, been down here. I was still using drugs. My main drug of choice is marijuana for sure. I mean, a lot of people will say it's not a drug, but if you have addiction type mind, it's definitely a drug. Um, anyways, was using that for a long time. Just not knowing what I was going to do with my life, honestly. Just thought, that was the life. I listened to rap music all the time. That's all they rapped about was, dealing drugs, girls, cars, clothes, whatever, and that was my lifestyle. So that's how I lived. I mean, that's what I thought was a cool thing to do. Never really had anyone really influence me positive in my life. Both of my parents were addicts. Um, one of my parents went to rehab, and I didn't know this at the time when I was little that I had this addiction in my brain. So, after all that, I did ecstasy. Ecstasy was a very religious experience for me in a weird way. I pretty much OD'd. Couldn't keep food down for a week. Was in the hospital. It's just craziness. After that, you think, oh, this dude's gonna stop doing drugs. Well, no. Kept smoking weed. Um, when pharmaceutical stuff came around, that's really where it got really bad. Xanax. Started doing tattoos, hanging out, with the people in the tattoo parlors. And I mean, these guys, had religious stuff up on their, in their tattoo shops and stuff like that. I thought they were good people. I mean, they were good people, but at the same time, drinking, drug use was in there. I was learning how to do tattoos. I was getting really good at it. People were hitting me up all the time for it. But at the same time, I was just kind of lost in my own little world. And, didn't know where I was going. Period. Started taking Xanax to calm my hands down when I was doing tattoos, drinking heavily while I was doing tattoos. And my tattoos were getting better and better and better. And then one day, I just started getting sick and ended up in the hospital for 4 days. Finally got off everything. After that, I decided I didn't want to live that lifestyle anymore. So by the time I was 26, 27, I'd say 26, I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and bought a basketball. Because that's the only thing I've ever been good at is sports. And so, it's really weird how it worked and how God found me. I mean, people don't believe in God. A lot of people, God is real for this reason. Went to Dick's Sporting Goods, bought a basketball, and while I was in checkout line, this guy's like, hey, you should go check out the 146 Rec Center. It's at Coral Springs Baptist Church. It's $20 a year, and you can play full court on, pretty much a professional basketball court, and a lot of the OSU players play there. Kevin Durant's cousin plays there. So I was like, yeah, definitely check it out. Went there, played some full court games with some black guys, which I've never played basketball with black people before. Ran around, got knocked down, but I didn't really quit playing. Van, the pastor, which is the main guy at the rec center, he also coaches, wanted me to coach a team with him. I said, yeah, I'll definitely do that. That's where I found God. That's where I realized everything I went through, what it was for. And it's to teach kids that, sports can take you anywhere in life, but drugs can take you down a hill that you never want to be in and live a life of addiction. At 12 years old, I had my soccer coach tell me that I could probably play pro soccer. That's how good I was. And I should have stuck with it. But like everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. And I've tried to teach these kids, just stay on the right track, listen to your parents for sure, if they're good parents, and just stay away from the temptation, because you never know if you have an addiction type mindset. But since then, I've relapsed a couple times smoking, but I haven't drank in over 2.5 years. I haven't had sex in over 2 years. Kind of just changed my lifestyle up, or tried to, I still have health issues from my past, of course. I mean, you go through something like that, you're going to have health issues. And, it was just, crazy how the Lord found himself inside me. And every day, I try not to sin, but I do. You go through something like that and you can't control it. Addiction you can't really control until you finally realize, what you're doing. You kind of just hit a bottom. My bottom was in the hospital, looking at a cross every day, heavily medicated, not even being able to watch TV, just seeing this cross on the wall, prayers coming over the intercom every morning, and just realizing, something's wrong with my life and I need to get it on track. So, I've been sober from smoking for about a month or two. I relapse a lot on that. I'm trying to be better on that. People need to know that, like, pharmaceutical drugs, and I've seen so many of my friends go downhill. Some of them have passed away. Some of them have their livers removed from drinking. It's a crazy world out there, and people need to really be careful what they do. We all take life for granted, We all go out and party. We all go out and drink. And we don't realize, you got drunk drivers on the road. You got kids that are born with cancer. And we all just take life for granted. And we don't realize how precious our life really is until it's almost gone or taken from us. I probably should have been in rehab a couple times, but I just did it myself. And I'm happy to be sober. I know I don't probably seem happy in this message type thing, but I'm happy to be sober. It's just been a rough road. I've had relationships where it's just drug use, and that'll never work. You got two people on drugs, it's not gonna work. I'm happy. It's just been a long road, and I just want people to know that don't smoke weed, don't drink. If you can drink and control it, cool. But my thing was, my parents were addicts. I did not know that. I smoked weed the first time when I was hooked. I smoked meth the second time. Uppers really aren't my thing, but I ruined a lot of people's lives drug dealing. I ruined a lot of people's lives, coming over my house and partying. And a lot of people are going through that addiction. And, if you are, you go and get help. Like, there's help out there. And once you get sober, you'll realize, that there's better thing in life for you. And I try to focus on God and the Lord every night. I pray every night for my family, my friends, everyone on Facebook. Like, I pray for you guys. And everyone that's passed away, high school, and all that, from drinking and just, things uncontrollably. Rest in peace for sure. Like, y'all didn't deserve to go through that. And I think we all need to kind of learn from this. So, I don't know, that's kind of my story. And I just want people to kind of realize that you never know if you have that in your mind. Like, a lot of people can drink and then, the next day not drink. Me, if I drank today, it would go on for months. If I smoked weed, I wouldn't be able to stop. I would sit here and smoke it all day and probably just kill my lungs. The only way I really stopped smoking weed is I would get sick because I would smoke it so much. Just a crazy lifestyle. Haven't drank in 2.5 years. I am very proud of that. That's a major accomplishment for me, especially with my mom in the past being an alcoholic. Haven't smoked in about 2 months. Every day, I don't want to smoke, but I don't want to go down that path ever again. Because every time I just get sick again and go through health issues. I've had sex with girls, one night stands, and that was just wrong. You should respect your body because your body is a temple. I did tattoos, on myself, on other people. Just got lost, man. Lost in the sauce is what Kid Ink would say, one of my favorite rappers. And so, just try to stay sober, try to stay away from the people that influence you badly, and find positive people in your life. All my friends are gone. And what I mean by that is, I don't hang out with any of my friends anymore because, a lot of us did drugs together. A lot of us got away from it, some of us didn't, some of us are still in that addiction type of our life. And, it's nice to actually wake up and feel good, get throughout the day without laying in bed all day, just sick from withdrawals, just crazy stuff. But, I just figured I'd make this video and kind of let everybody know what's up. But, I'm doing what I can, day by day. You just got to take it day by day, and addiction is a day by day thing. And staying sober, staying straight. I'm trying to not have sex with just people that, I get to know a little bit and then we just fall in bed together, because that's pretty much a sexual relationship. What I want is love. I want someone who cares for me, I want that marriage type of person. I love women. I think women are beautiful in every aspect. But one thing I have learned definitely with coaching, and my niece being born is probably the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. That girl's shown me more than any person has in my life about just how, how life, is important to us. And seeing her being so happy, and just children, I believe, are a gift from God. I believe children are our angels, And, like, if you ever have a child, I don't have children, but being around her, there's no other place I want to be. Like, she is my angel. She's the reason I stay sober. She's the reason, like, I'm pretty much doing what I'm doing. For her. I don't want her to grow up and her uncle to be like a bad influence on her. I want to teach her the right from wrong, because people need to know the right from wrong. And I didn't. I just had bad influences on my life. Bullied through high school. It's just crazy. Like, I could have stayed in sports. I could have done right. probably went to college through a scholarship. You know, it's crazy because like this dude at Enid High that I played basketball with that wasn't even that good was on the basketball team, and I was thinking, man, like if I would have just stayed with this, like I could have made it. I could have made it, but I didn't. But everything happens for a reason. Coaching basketball, I mean, I get so much out of that. I've done it 1 year, and that whole time I was going through withdrawals. But I mean, I kept going, you know, for the kids, going through withdrawal symptoms throughout practice, and I mean, just shooting with them. Actually, I had a kid beat me at horse that was, I don't know, 10 years old. You know, like being around them, just seeing them smile and knowing how I used to, you know, be the same way. Just like I want to teach them, you know, you've got to stay away from this lifestyle. And it's getting worse and worse every day with the pharmaceuticals coming out. Like people overdose on pharmaceuticals more than they do crack, um, you know, crack cocaine or heroin. I mean, pharmaceuticals are getting out of control. People are robbing CVS pharmacy trucks down in Houston for that purple drink. I mean, I really think we need to do another war on drugs because it's just out of control completely. And people don't really realize that. How many people die a day from overdoses? How many people are in rehab right now? You know, if you look up Chris Herron, Project Purple, that's someone I really look up to. That's someone that went through a really hardcore addiction, worse than mine, and made it through it. And he does motivational speaking now. Josh Hamilton, professional athlete, also went through addiction, hardcore addiction, and came through it. And I mean, he's one of the best athletes in baseball, in my opinion. Chris Herron, you know, he was a great athlete and could have been really good, but he just had that addiction throughout his whole professional career. And I mean, there's a lot of people in professional careers right now in sports that have addictions, and people don't know about that. I just want to make everybody aware of what's going on in the world and that we really need to do something about this. And I'm honestly thinking about doing motivational speaking at churches. I'm going to get baptized again because once you find the Lord Jesus Christ, you're supposed to get baptized again just to kind of heal all your sins and rejuvenate your life, you know, and become new again. And I feel like that's what I'm doing is I'm becoming a new person, pretty much getting my childhood back. Kind of getting emotional while I'm saying this because it's a big deal to me. It was, I mean, just crazy life. But I'm happy to be sober. I'm happy to wake up every day. You know, I might not feel 100%, but I felt 10 times better than I did when I was doing drugs. And Xanax, you know, they'll mess your head up. Period. Mess your head up. I mean, pharmaceuticals are just horrible. You know, people don't realize what they're putting in their body. People don't realize how much of an addiction it is, how bad the withdrawal symptoms from it is. And just wanted to let everybody know my story. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. 2.5 years sober from alcohol, a couple months sober from marijuana, and I haven't slept with anyone in 2 years, which I think is a huge accomplishment for any male. I don't know any male that can actually do that. And I try not to sin. I notice every time I cuss, like, I notice it. Just weird things happen when the Lord finds you in your life. You notice little things that you didn't before that are sins or aren't right. Of course, you always fall back into those sins sometimes, but I notice them now, and I never did before. Like, I used to listen to 3 6 Mafia, and the other day I was thinking, 3 6 Mafia, like, what is that? 666. Never even thought of that back when I was listening to them. A lot of the rappers right now are coming out with religious music, I believe. That's a great thing. I think we need to get away from these bitches and hoes and oh, I want to take your clothes off type music. And then you got Nicki Minaj talking about, oh, you look at me a certain way, I'm going to take my panties off. Like, and then you wonder why kids are getting pregnant at 12, 13 years old because we've got this music coming out on the radio that just is not helping anything. It's just making people worse. You know, these people are making tons of money off of it. These other people are doing drugs and killing themselves over it or having children at early ages. So, that's pretty much all I gotta say. I guess that's pretty much my story. But, drug use is just something I don't want anybody to have to go through. Withdrawal symptoms. Like, there's nights I would lay in my bed and just be praying to the Lord, praying to the Lord. While my heart was about to explode, my body just was completely out of whack. You know, praying to get me through the night. Just that night, the next night, the next night, you know. And I made it. And that's a big accomplishment for me. So, I'd like to thank all my family and my friends that have helped me. But finding the Lord and Jesus Christ is where it's at. You know, it's what changed my life. And I'll never go back to that lifestyle. I can't. It's not me anymore. It's not who I am. It's not who I was born or brought up to be. God put me through it for a reason, and it's to teach people and kind of show them that it's not a lifestyle you want to go through. And, you know, things are so much better if you just stay in school, stay with sports. I mean, you know, if you're not in sports, find an activity, find a hobby to keep you away from the bad people in your life, the people that are influencing you badly. I mean, I've got 1, 2 friends right now because all my other friends, you know, influenced me in bad ways, and I had to get away from them. I love them to death. I will always care for them, but I had to get away from it because if I didn't, you know, I probably wouldn't be here right now telling you all this. So, anyways, I love you guys, and thank you for listening.